Former Biden advisor Cedric Richmond is back in New Orleans and talking to the DA and other stakeholders about the crime problem.
Sabrina Wilson sat down with Richmond, who says he's not running for office again, but wants to help his city do better.
I think it was sometime in May, but there was no off day. I left the White House on a Wednesday, and I started at the DNC on a Wednesday afternoon, still supporting the president's initiatives, but the midterms are so important.
New Orleans native Cedric Richmond is still busy after leaving his position as senior advisor to President Biden. Before that, he was in Congress.
The whole time I was in Congress, I commuted to work, but when I got to the White House, even with a 5-day work week every week, I still commuted. I left on Friday nights and I went back at 5 o'clock in the morning on Mondays.
His current job as senior advisor to the Democratic National Committee allows him to work from here with some travel mixed in. The city's crime problem factored into his decision to leave 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
New Orleans is where I grew up. It's where I love. It's where I intend to stay. But it was a concern. And I'd be lying if I told you that crime didn't play a big part in it. And with me being gone the entire week with the wife and child, it was something that I worried about.
People close to him have been victims of violent crime.
And I've lost too many to gun violence. And so it played a large decision in a lot of things that I've done, from running for elective office in the first place, running for Congress, deciding to go into the White House to make sure that we were focusing on urban communities.
He says crime victims should never be forgotten.
There's a couple things that caught my attention that frustrates me. One of which, when we talk about it only in the sense of how it affects tourism or the dollar value or the city's reputation, I care that too many parents are burying their children and too many children are burying their parents.
He's not a fan of the school landscape post-Katrina.
I believe to my heart that a kid should just be able to walk across the street. I don't care if it's a magnet school. I don't care what algorithm that one app says, but he should be able to do that because that means it's a community school.
What if it's an underperforming school? You know that argument is there.
Yeah, if it's an underperforming school, we should be working our tails off to make it a better performing school. But then that child has that alternative to go to another school. We're not sentencing him to a failing school.
And if he could do only one thing to help fight crime,
what you think would be?
It'd be a great starting point for my role. And so if I just had to define my role and my ultimate goal, if I can get it done, I would start a all-male residential school where we take young men out of their community and we push them and we hug them and we kick them and we make sure that they know that the world is theirs if they apply themselves.
Richmond says the Biden administration provided money to help cities fight the crime problem, including funds for mental health services, after-school programs, summer jobs, community violence intervention, and money to help formerly incarcerated people re-enter society. He says it's also important to help Black businesses do well. Meg?